Tobias and Nathan, two kids barely out of their teens yet swimming in cash. They were just like any other teenagers, but with a twist of fate that set them apart. They didn't ask for this life, it just landed on them like a stray bullet. One day they were scraping by, and the next they were flush with money. Wrong place, wrong time. Or maybe it was right, depending on how you saw it. The city had a way of choosing its players, and they were chosen.
All we knew was the game dime bags, street corners, quick handoffs. It was a hustle, a way to make ends meet, and soon it became our life.
It was dangerous, but the money made us feel powerful. Each bill we counted was a step away from the life we wanted to escape. Invincible. For a while anyway, we felt untouchable, like the city was ours to conquer.
Their rise was meteoric in their world. Word spread fast about their product, their reliability. They became known figures in the underground scene. They weren't hardened criminals, they were just two kids trying to survive the concrete jungle. They had dreams, hopes, and fears like anyone else. But the streets don't care about your intentions. The city is a beast that feeds on ambition and naivety. They only understand ambition and consequence. Every move they made was a gamble, a step closer to either success or downfall. And the consequences were always waiting, lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce when least expected. The city never sleeps, and neither do its dangers. The estates were a battleground, not with tanks and soldiers, but with poverty and despair. The streets echoed with the silent cries of those who had been left behind, forgotten by a society that moved too fast to care. Concrete blocks stacked high, casting long shadows over the broken asphalt. These towering structures were like sentinels, watching over the lives that struggled beneath them, casting a pall of gloom over the neighborhood. Graffiti screamed from the walls, a testament to forgotten dreams and simmering rage. Each stroke of paint told a story of hope turned to anger, of dreams deferred and lives derailed. This was their world, a world where respect was earned with fists and fear. The streets were an arena, and every day was a fight for survival, a struggle to maintain a semblance of dignity. Tobias and Nathan's turf was the South Side. It had always been their domain, a silent agreement etched in blood and broken bottles. They ruled these streets with an iron fist, their names synonymous with power and control. But the balance was shifting. Whispers of a new player, a name spoken with a mix of fear and respect, Vincent Coggins. His reputation preceded him, a shadow that loomed large over the South Side. He was moving in from the north, hungry for power and territory. Vincent was a force to be reckoned with, and his arrival threatened to upend the fragile equilibrium that Tobias and Nathan had fought so hard to maintain. The air was thick with humidity and anticipation. The streetlights flickered, casting an eerie glow on the faces of Tobias and Nathan's crew. They had gathered at their usual spot, a crumbling stoop outside a boarded-up grocery store. Tonight, the air felt different, charged with a nervous energy.
Suddenly a low rumble broke the silence.
A sleek black car, all tinted windows and chrome, cruised down the street. His reputation preceded him, a chilling aura of menace radiating from the vehicle. He stopped a few feet from the group, the engine idling like a predator sizing up its prey. S2, it was Coggins.
Tobias felt a surge of defiance, a refusal to back down. This was his territory. He spoke, his voice a low growl. Words meant to intimidate, to assert dominance. One of Coggins' windows slid down, a sliver of light illuminating a face etched with hard lines and cold eyes. Suddenly everything exploded, a shout, a shove, the deafening roar of gunfire. The night erupted in a symphony of chaos, flashes of light, the acrid smell of gunpowder, the sickening thud of bodies hitting pavement. Instinct took over, the world shrinking to the rhythm of his own heartbeat and the echo of gunshots.
The air hung heavy with the smell of cordite and fear. Silence descended, broken only by the wail of distant sirens. The street was a tableau of carnage. Bodies lay sprawled on the ground, their blood staining the asphalt a macabre crimson.
Tobias looked around, his chest heaving, his ears ringing. He stumbled towards Nathan, a scream building in his throat. His friend, his brother, gone. The realization hit him with the force of a physical blow. This wasn't a game, this was real life, and it had just extracted a devastating price.
Nathan lay a few feet away, his eyes staring vacantly at the night sky. He wasn't moving.
The sirens grew louder, their piercing wails a stark reminder of the approaching authorities. The night was filled with an eerie tension, a sense of impending doom that seemed to echo through the empty streets. As Tobias melted into the shadows, the weight of his actions pressed down on him. Every step he took felt heavier, burdened by the choices that had led him to this moment. The darkness seemed to embrace him, offering a fleeting sense of solace. The streets had promised him everything, but in the end, they had taken everything he held dear. Dreams of power and respect had turned into nightmares of loss and despair. The city, once a beacon of hope, now stood as a monument to his failures. He was alone, lost in a labyrinth of guilt and regret. The maze of streets mirrored the confusion in his mind, each turn leading him deeper into his own personal hell. The faces of those he had wronged haunted him at every corner. He was a king without a kingdom, a soldier forever haunted by the ghosts of the battlefield. The battles he fought were not just on the streets, but within his own soul. The echoes of his past decisions reverberated through his mind, a constant reminder of his downfall. The streets had made him a man, but at what cost? The lessons learned were harsh, the price paid immeasurable. The allure of power had blinded him to the true cost of his ambitions.
Tobias knew he had to disappear. His life, as he knew it, was over. The shadows were his only refuge now, a place where he could hide from the consequences of his actions. The fear of being caught was a constant companion. He had tasted power, felt the allure of the streets, but it had come at an unbearable cost. The weight of his choices bore down on him, a relentless reminder of the life he had lost. The streets had given him a taste of power, but they had also taken everything away.